So the problem is not always the problem. And when you're really busy, you can be in danger of only addressing the surface issue. For example, there was this young girl who did the laundry. You would put your clothes in a bag, your uniform in a bag, and put your name on it and itemise what you had in there. Shorts, like my underwear in my room with the sink, but t-shirt, towel, sheets. And she would always get it wrong. She would always get it mixed up. And this really annoyed the other ladies because, you know, there's not a lot we had control over. So when something so personal gets messed up, it can inflate anger. Do you have things in your workplace that get mixed up and people don't deliver things to the right offices and you haven't got the right stationery and just different things happen and it's irritating? I'll maximise that here. So they were, the gossip and the talk around the rock was about how they were going to get this girl. Because they were angry at her, they were going to give her, like they weren't going to belt her up because that would have got them put into the DU, the discipline unit. But there was a real tension, a real almost imperceptible tone. Now remember yesterday we were talking about intuition? Some people have it and some people it's a bit duller, as you know. You know, they're in the workplace. If your intuition isn't so sharp, there might be some things that are going on that you probably can identify. Now with this, it was pretty obvious and, you know, rescuer, fixer, hadn't quite learned my lesson yet. I said, look, no, because I was, you know, I felt sorry for the girl. I said, well, I'll go talk to her. So me thinking I knew what the problem was, she's not getting the washing sorted out, I went to her and I said, Rosie, you know, is there anything I can help you with? Like, you know, are you struggling with anything right now that maybe you could use a hand with? You know, because I realise it's quite stressful and, you know, you got your laundry and everything, and I'm waiting for her to say, yeah, I could really use help. She said, I'm just so worried about my children. She was 19 and had 3 children to 3 different fellas, and they're all in foster care. Could you sort washing for all the different people while you're worried about that? No, immediately I just felt like, oh. And I felt really selfish and a bit self-righteous. Look, that was her issue, and it was messing with her brain so much she couldn't concentrate. You see, there's always more to people than meet the eye, and I had compassion on her. And I talked with her and I cared about her, and I befriended her so she felt better. And I don't know that she improved the washing all that much. But even in just doing that, there was kind of a dissolving of the tension. And my point is, it's about the person. You know, you can do, and I do, you know, who's done DISC, you know, DISC personality, profile, DISC, what's another one? Myers-Briggs, plenty of other ones out there. And they're all good. They're all good. And they're all useful. But always remember, people are not a demographic. They're a person. And how you see that person as a real person is what's going to make the difference. And if you have a caring tone in your office, and you set that tone, you are leaders, you are influencers. How you talk to someone, you don't have a checklist of ask about the family, ask about this, ask about that. No. Genuinely care about them. They can feel it. They can feel it. And it's all about how you look at them. So what I don't do soft skills, I do smart skills. Why do we call them soft? Like they're not as good as hard. Now we have hard skills, how to turn a widget, how to learn this, how to master a program. Things that can be tested and measured and learned, you either can do it, you're either competent or not yet competent. Isn't that how it works in the RTO industry? But soft skills, there's nothing soft about them. You've got to use your brain, you've got to use your heart, you've got to use your intuition. It's a complicated thing. Why is it that companies prefer to spend more money on hard skills than soft skills? Because it's easier, it's simpler. I'm not going to say anything sexist about how decisions are made, let's just stay away from the emotion. But, you know, don't we need that help? We do. What I would like to do is help out the people who, their intuition, now my intuition is better, but if it had been working before I worked for this fellow, I might not have worked for him. But in the workplace, what I like to do, there are actually some signals of unrest that you can read. And you can, like, so for example, maybe it is gossip increases. Maybe it's low productivity, some attitudes. So just take 30 seconds at your table to talk to each other about what are some of the things that might be sending signals to you that perhaps another person's intuition might pick up, but suppose you didn't have that working real well, what could you observe? What might be happening in the office that might give you some signals that there's some unrest going on and some problems? So just take 30 seconds to do that.
Someone leaving their office. To avoid offence. And maybe, you might see the things there.
Okay, so we have some... Alright. Thanks, guys. Now, do we have someone from this table? Would you like to tell us maybe one of the things you came up with? Sick days. Yes. Absence from workplace. And do people always tell you that it's because of stress? Or do they just say, no, it wasn't well? They'll blame it on something else. Because if people say that they're stressed, they're telling you that they might be telling you that they're weak and vulnerable and that they can't be trusted with responsibility. But it probably is. And stress will give you a tummy. Won't it? What's another one? Lack of engagement. Lack of engagement. That's why it's good to have your finger on the pulse. Just to even, and you don't have to be right in people's face micromanaging them. But you do need to notice. And do you notice when people are unengaged? What does that look like? Slacking off? A few more toilet breaks than everybody else? Just getting another coffee? Or not paying attention in meetings? What else? What's another one? The person is too heavy a workload to engage. Great answer. Yeah. Yeah. Too busy to be involved. Yep. That's true. And whether they're productive or not is another thing. But they're too busy, it's really colouring in, but put the sheet over the top. Any more? We got another one? Yes? Negativity, big one. Big one. It is. It really is. And I was really pleased to see that yesterday, the slide that had when you first start, you're all excited and you're engaged, and then it gets a bit harder, and then you get a bit discouraged, and you have that. That happens in someone's career path too. And if it's not handled right and they get the wrong person around them, or they try to get help and they're told to harden up, you suck. Now, we don't use that language. But sometimes we have employers or executives that might, because if some people has a style of work that doesn't need a lot of encouragement and nurturing, then they're not necessarily going to give. On another note, have you heard of the book, The 5 Love Languages? Yes. So that works in the workplace as well. Some people respond to words of affirmation. Some people respond to, now when you touch someone, obviously you might give them a pat on the back. Some workplaces you can give them a hug, but other places it's not appropriate. But different people have different ways to be encouraged. And it matters. It matters that you know what they need, and you do that by getting to know them. And encouraging that culture. I lead I'm the immediate past president of a services club for women. And we do projects for women and girls to elevate their status around the world. It's called Soroptimist International. Do we have any Soroptimists here? I've heard of it? Soroptimist International. We do projects locally and overseas. Now, women's clubs can be fantastic and they can be toxic. And the one thing I worked on with our club was, well, it didn't need a lot of work, we were good to start with, but I talk about the culture. I talk about we are caring. These are our values. It looks like this. And I'll talk about what we don't do. We are women. We can get a bit jealous. We can get a little bit thingy. That's my mother's word. Getting thingy. I get a bit thingy sometimes, and I've got to remind myself. When you have these sorts of things going on, and also conflict, eventually you may find this. Anyone face something similar to this in the workplace? Where you've just got, whoa, 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 we've got to deal with this. And then you feel like you've got to deal with it now. And how long has the problem been going on? Weeks! Well, can it wait till 3:30 because then I can give you my full attention? What I want to give you is some tools for you personally to protect yourself, as well as talk about these other qualities. Because it's very important. I do this in both anger management class and communication skills, because actually 2/3 of my anger management class don't actually need to be there. They're not really angry, they just don't know how to communicate effectively. And it's much easier to, would you rather be sent to an anger management class, or would you rather be told, you know, we're going to upskill you, we're going to send you on to a communication skills class? Which one are you going to participate in a bit more willingly? Now, one field makes you feel like you're being punished, the other makes you feel like you're being respected and invested in. Yeah? So if you've got any problem people, just think about that before you choose which class to put them in. And the reason is they can't express themselves. And so that's one of the things that I help them with. So you've got these guys, but what you've got to do is be aware that and I'm not sounding new age, when I use the word energy, I'm actually talking about energy. You know, it's coming from them. Their negative emotional energy, it's in their eyes, it's in their face, it's in their body language, it's in their volume, and their emotions, and you know, and they come into your space if they give that way, and you're like, oh, hang on. It's very easy to put that on like a cloak without realising it's happening. And you can sort of be defending yourself, and it might not be a conflict with you, but about someone else, but you still find yourself distancing and going, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is why you need to say, I understand you've got an issue you need to discuss. I want to give it my full attention. So I can do that, could we please make it at such and such a time? And that way, they're not running your agenda. So and even if you say, look, can I get back to you with a time, and I promise I'll get back before the end of the day, even if it's just to get back to allocated time for the following day or next week or something, yeah? Don't get into, I must act now. You do not have to act now. It's been going on for a while. It also gives you time to gather the facts. And that's really important, because you mustn't misinterpret emotion for the size of the problem.